You're tuning into.
You're now tuning into
CodenameZ.
And welcome back, everyone. Hello, how are you all doing? How are you doing, Basil?
After you just did that little dance,
They didn't know about
I'm
that.
not
so
extremely happy about
whatever.
that.
This is not a video, so you didn't have to say that.
I do. So anyway,
Well, welcome back, guys.
hi everyone.
How are
This
you?
is CodenameZ the podcast because you don't ever introduce it.
I was getting there. I was trying to say hello to the audience. I was going to introduce myself, then you introduce yourself, and then we say it.
So now do it.
I'm Tyrone,
And I'm Basil,
and this is CodenameZ.
the podcast.
Are you
There
happy?
we go.
You're
Yeah.
happy?
Very. Now let's get into it.
So this week, I think we're going to do something fun. This whole episode is going to be our mini red flags. I know you've been seeing that all over social media where everybody in there some are trash red flags, just to say.
We might be like a week late, but you know,
Right.
y'all still enjoy them, so hush.
Right, so we're going to get into some red flags. Babe, what's your first red flag?
Oh, let's throw me onto the bus.
Oh, did you not go? Did you not want to
Well,
go
can we
first?
just first? Can we tell what is a red flag
Oh, okay.
for the people who might not know?
Basically, a red flag. I was about
This
to.
is
I was
the
about to
viewpoint
divide-
too. We have to get the audience to understand what we're talking about.
But you know, first of all, I was about to do the number one thing English teachers hate when you define the word with the word. I was going to say red flag is a red flag. But no. So red flag is pretty much anything that is suspicious, that's annoying, that irks you, that makes you angry. It can be specifically related to relationships, but it can also be related to anything. Friendships, social media, society, the world. Anything that you find that is toxic, is suspicious, that makes you angry, etc.
I was like, not the same line all over again.
Like, so for example, everybody that dated Joe from you should have saw major red flag.
No, first of all, not the people who dated him, the town that
The
he was
whole
in.
town, right.
The town should find a red flag that as soon as this man moves in, 3 people went missing.
When you see someone dragging in a whole clear box into their basement, oh, wait, sorry. Oh, we might be spoiler alert. Sorry, y'all.
The whole box was in the first season.
Right, but some people may not. Some people haven't seen it yet because I was just talking to people who said they never saw you.
Okay, well, it's
Which
on
I had
season
to
3.
catch
Y'all
up.
late.
Right, y'all.
Y'all are late.
Well, we won't say anything else. Just know it's a box. They ain't really telling y'all much. Right.
You know, the classic DaBaby hit, the box.
That is not the baby. First of all, you're
Yeah, no, we argued about that earlier before because I don't know rappers. Anyway.
Oh gosh. So, do you have a red flag to start with?
Oh God, let's say on some red flags. I have a relationship red flag, not even a relationship
Oh
red flag.
gosh.
A red flag of when they put so much effort into talking to you, and then all of a sudden they get busy and they don't have time and all this and don't
Who you talking about?
say their names? Not
Who you talking about?
many people. You know, I have Minty.
Yeah, we know. It's been all over Twitter.
So let's go to Tyrone's Twitter.
Yeah,
Hold on,
nothing
let's
on
just-
my Twitter.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing on my Twitter.
Tyrone is Yardy style, but okay. Anyway,
Who is that?
nobody.
First of all, I hope you didn't
Exposing
expose yourself.
myself.
I'm about to say, who is that?
It's a Twitter person now. Don't look him up.
I don't have nothing on my Twitter.
Anyway, so but you know, I just don't. That's a red flag for me. People who just like you put all this effort in to just now all of a sudden you're busy and oh I can't do this because
Right.
X, Y, and Z and oh my God I can't. But you weren't busy the whole time you were trying to court me.
Right.
But all of a sudden,
First of all, not as in Bridgerton days, not as in 1920s, not that 1800 court me.
yes, I mean I'm just saying you did all this work and all of a sudden you get here and all of a sudden don't try to play me because now
Right.
I don't want you anyway.
Okay. What is a red flag? You know how when you have so many examples, sometimes it's hard to just pick one
Yeah.
thing.
Yes.
Okay. One red flag is. This is not really a red flag, but when you try to talk to someone, they turn you down. All of a sudden, they ugly. Like now, you was just trying
First
to
of
talk
all,
to them.
that's
You
a
was
Philly
just
red
sliding-
flag.
right? That's a Philly red. You just try to slide in the DMs, and now they all some types of uglies. They're mama
Ugly,
whore.
fat.
Like,
Oh my God, they weave stiff. They part crooked. It's
damn,
like, oh
they
damn.
park- you got a gap in your teeth. Like, oh, they just pick up anything. But
Oh my God, that's first of all the aggression in general. That's a red flag for me.
Right.
If I say no, and you just get instantly like triggered and get angry and like you ready to just go off. You you want to beat me up, my mama up, my granny up, my dad, my uncles. You need to calm down.
Right.
First of all, again, I'm not a prize, and I'm not the only person in this world. I'm not the only person here. Okay.
Oh, I got another one.
Ooh, go.
These are really red flags. So red flags doesn't have to necessarily mean like something that you notice early on. It's just also just things that are just annoying. This is for teachers.
Uh-oh.
When a whole class fell, and then you try to blame the class. Like, ma'am, sir, I started thinking maybe it was your teaching style. Like, that 100% of your class just failed the test. I think that's a red flag.
That's a huge red flag.
Right. That should be a red flag for the administration. Like, how the valedictorian now fell in math? Like, something not adding up. Like,
child, that's like when we had Mr. D in high school. Remember, I failed gym because I didn't change, and then the whole class was failing because I'm changing.
First of all, gym was so fun. I used to hate because our gym schedule
was trash.
First of all, were you in my gym class?
No.
Oh, you weren't in my gym class. But for my gym class, our period, we had gym first thing in the morning, which was so annoying because I'm like,
I had that every other day. So whatever you had the first, I had it the other day. You know, we had switch.
Oh yeah, it was switch off. Right.
And that's what those are days I would get in trouble for not changing. Because I'm like, sir, I have to go to class. My class is on the third floor.
Right.
We're in the basement.
And he used to love them labs. I used to be right behind the pillar, and I used to pop out at the end. He caught me one day. That's because everybody wanted to start copycatting. I used to be right behind that pillar. Like, I
was sneaky. Nothing. I would make sure the door was propped so you didn't hear it open. And as soon as he turned his head, I would boop right out the door.
Because nobody trying to do all that. And then like another red flag in our society in general. When we start failing kids or say they can't walk in graduation because of gym, I think is an issue because they didn't know how to properly serve a volleyball. What is what is that helping me in my life?
Because when you go to college, you really need to start serving volleyballs in your intensive math class.
Right? Because I really hated it. Because I remember, I think in gym I had like a B. And I'm like, really? Like, because I remember, don't you remember they started actually doing skills tests?
Yeah.
Like, we had to serve the volleyball the right way or do a dribbling test. And so I'm like,
nobody's doing that.
Now, they used to be so annoying to me.
Oh, I have another red flag. I got one. A red flag, right? I just got really excited. When you can't have a proper debate with somebody... That's a huge red flag for me because you already know. Listen, I'm very debatatory. That's not a word, but
debatatory.
Debative. Listen, I'm gonna put my best Wendy Williams on today, and I'm gonna use my own words. Thank you. I'm a debationary.
Whatever.
But I like to have a debate, and depending on what type of topic it is, either we're gonna agree or we're gonna disagree. X, Y, and Z. I'm always the believer of. Agree to disagree at the end of the day, depending on what the debate is.
Right.
If your debate is something that's horribly racist or homophobic, I can't agree to disagree with you on anything.
Right.
Like I had a roommate that was a Trump supporter at one point, and we had a whole conversation. But he was like basically trying to say how he thought like the whole border ban was like a good thing. And I was kind of debating why it was a bad thing or when it's not necessary in general. And we couldn't get to an end on that situation.
Right.
But it wasn't as in like, we still were friends. Damn it, here we go. The verb.
Here you go with these bodily functions in the middle of that.
Listen, Wendy Williams can do it, I can do it. Okay. But
Wendy gets paid millions.
We get paid pennies. Don't do that.
I wish.
Our lovely sponsorship from Adele last week, the vocals.
First of all, I hope you know we got sued by Adele. Thanks a lot.
First of all, it wasn't an Adele song. How Adele sue us?
Then we in the negative. So I meant Mariah Carey. Who did you sing? Oh, you sung Disney.
I sung a Disney, so.
Yeah, we got sued by Mickey Mouse. And then we in our account.
Good night. Anyway. But no, so we got into like a full debate on it. And then like, obviously we weren't like, you weren't going to convince me that you were right. I'm not going to convince you that I'm right.
Right.
And we kind of moved on from the situation. But I think it's a huge red flag for me personally. Depending on what type of conversation it is. One, if you make the argument like I don't want to have the conversation, it's like why?
Right.
Especially if it's like if I'm having a conversation with someone of another race or another sexual orientation or anything like that. And if I'm trying to have that conversation, and you're like uncomfortable, upset about it.
Right.
It's like, but I'm talking about this is something that is affecting me.
Right.
You know, like which is really funny. Like when like the Black Lives Matter started, like I mean, even though it's been a thing, but like when it was like really taking off,
right?
Last 21. So yeah, like last year, I remember I had someone's dad. We were friends on Facebook. And it was irritating to me because he was running those highly religious type of people and X, Y, and Z. And he was always, you know, oh, prayer this and pray for forgiveness and oh, do this and oh, Jesus love everybody. You know, one of those people. Right. And when the whole Black Lives Matter movement was going on, I noticed that he wasn't posting anything. Right. And I'm like, that's real suspicious. So I remember I made that long, and first of all, you know, I don't ever get on Facebook. Right. So to see me post on Facebook, I was like, what? Sir. But now I remember I went and posted on Facebook, and I was just like, this is wild to me that like everybody who's so religious and all this, like where's the support that we need as a community? Right. Where's that coming from? X, Y, and Z. He unfriended me. And I was like, but my thing was, you could like you read my post and immediately instead of saying something to me or you know even trying to debate me or whatever you want to do, you just immediately unfriended me. It's like, oh, I don't even want that conversation. Right. It's like you're a grown up. You're a grown up. You're a grown up. You know, it's like it's really weird to me when it's like, oh, I don't have the conversation, or oh, it's like this is unimportant to me, so let's have the conversation. I think when you talk to non-people of color and like they act like they don't want to get into a conversation when it's like something to do with black or something to do with LGBT or anything like that, and it's like. You know, it gives racism. You know, it gives homophobia for me. It's giving very much. It's giving very much racism because it's like, why do you not want to have this conversation? But when white women all around the world was getting mad because people calling them a Karen. Right. Oh God, we had to talk about that all the time. Right. Because remember they started saying the K word was the same as the N word, and we had to tell them, goodbye, Amy, this is not it. Why the fuck you lying? Like, sit there. You always lying? It's like, I was to turn it off. But no, like, yeah, like, literally, that was like a thing. And I'm like, but y'all want to keep having this conversation? I don't want to have a conversation because I know deep down in my heart, my spirit, my soul, and everything else, they ain't the same word. Yeah. They ain't the same word. Close to the same word. Because let me tell you something. I can say Karen, you can't say the N word. Right. Okay. No, they can try. Let them say it. Let's not make violence. But who was it? John Mulaney made that joke. Remember, it was like he was saying like he couldn't say. It was another the now derogatory term for like a small person, and they were like, "Oh no, it's as bad as the N word." And he's like, "If you are saying the other word, you're not even saying the N word, right? Then they don't equate." Yeah, because you're not even going near that other word. But I'm out here freely saying Karen, and nobody gonna track me on it. Right. But like, let little Miss Amy say the N word, Miss Amy, and we're gonna have a problem. Just saying. Not Miss Amy. I can't. Another red flag. It's a very important red flag that I have coming off there, but I think I'm going to save that for next segment because it might be a little long. So I'm going to say another red flag in between. Ooh, okay. If you... Oh, God. This is actually what I saw on Instagram. I thought it was funny. If you dated someone and you only go out at night, I think that's a red flag. Because you're not a cockroach. No. You're not a burglar. Why are you always out at night? I think that's a red flag. Oh, you know what a red flag for me is? People who, like, argue with themselves on social media. Like, people who be like, since y'all asking, who's asking? Right. At this point, you're talking to yourself. Right. No, yeah. Who are you talking to? Or the people be like, because so many people out there hate and or want to say smart. I'm like, who? Who? No, for real. Like, who's asking? Who be talking about it? Like, I be sitting there, like, I see a post, and I'm like, did someone post something about this thing? Like, who? Nobody was asking. How many people was talking? They be confusing me. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, nobody asking you. Like, oh my God. Right. I just. Yeah. Or these influencers, but they're not influencers. They be killing me. But that's not a red flag for me. It's just all weird. You trying to talk about me because I think I'm an influencer? Not talking about me because like first of all, if y'all not following me on Instagram at the I'm talking. If y'all not following me, don't click it. Don't you click that one fucking button? Leave me alone. No. I muted his mic. Turn it back on. Love having the control panel. Okay, I want to break a Mac. Anyway, whatever. I'm just saying. I think if you're not following me on at the Puff on Instagram, I think I'm a little influencer. You saw me the other day. Anyway, on that note, let's take a break. Make sure you hater.
follow.
Oh, we don't have enough time.
post.
Thank you. Bye.
I was trying.
Oh,
I said
me.
See. So sponsored by Megan Thee Stallion and the new hottie sauce. Only at Popeyes. I really wish, because that would probably be a good coin that we got just now for that sponsorship. But Megan, if you're listening, first Megan listening. Anyway, Megan might be listening, so if you're listening, please give us a sponsorship. Thank you. Now back to the show.
Let's start it,
And
please.
welcome back.
Oh,
I was starting.
oh, drag me. Go ahead. No.
All right, welcome back, y'all. Hope you enjoyed that lovely sponsorship. But okay, so the red flag I wanted to bring up, maybe a little longer red flag, but well, depending on our discussion.
Mm-hmm.
But people who say that they're not discriminatory or racist or homophobic or whatever the thing is, and then proceeds to do and say something that's racist, discriminatory, or homophobic, I'm like, And I bring this up because someone that I know reposted. So I know you all heard about this whole new bisexual Superman or Superman's son is going to be bisexual.
Oh yeah, we talked about
in the
that.
book or whatever, or in a comic book. I guess some
Oh,
people.
it's a comic. I thought it's not a movie.
No, it's just a comic book.
Oh, then y'all shut up.
Right.
Oh my god, I thought it was a movie.
First of all, I'm like, y'all already. First of all, is nothing wrong.
Y'all
with
gonna buy the
y'all
comic
making-
book?
Right. I'm like, y'all making a big. So anyway,
Okay, go ahead.
somebody I know posted something about it, and the post that they. First of all, I don't want to get into the levels of. I think I'm going to skip the levels of ignorance that post, because I remember. Don't you remember I read you that post?
Oh,
The levels
that
of
post.
ignorance in that
Yeah.
post. Like, first of all, it was so ignorant that I started to feel bad for the person. Like, well, they might got a little. They might got something a little wrong. But anyway, so the person that they reposted the post, the person in the post said, this is how they started the post. I have nothing against gay people. I love gay people stuff. But I don't think that they should be pushing this or exposing our children to this. Smelling a bit homophobic to me. Like,
listen, walk like a duck, talk like a duck, sound like a duck.
right, and that's
It ain't
the
an
thing.
elephant.
And it is so irking because I'm like, people, and like I said, it's so crazy because some people really would think maybe that they're not homophobic or this because they're like, I never was be rude to anybody. But I'm like, just because you're not being rude, if you support certain systems or make certain comments that aid in discrimination or bullying or whatever it is of a certain group, then you're participating. And that's why I think it's very important for people to look inward and realize that, okay, even though I don't consider myself racist, homophobic, transphobic, whatever it is, we have grown up in a society where a lot of things in the media were created by their system. So we may have certain thinkings that's driven by homophobia and stuff. Because, like, this is how I put it. Imagine the situation is the other way around, and imagine I'm a white person, and I post, love my black people, but I don't want my children exposed to them.
Yeah, see,
Would that or would that not be racist? Like
that's going to get you called to HR. You're about to lose your job.
Right.
They're going to drag you on TikTok.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't understand how you don't connect those.
I mean, in general, like, I know I used to work at a daycare, and there was a woman who we were close at the job and everything. And, I normally never go into anything about me or anything about anyone else or whatever.
Right.
And I know there was another coworker, and I forgot why we were talking about him. It wasn't anything petty this time, but we were just talking.
Right.
And she, like, made a comment about him being gay, and I was just like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, cool, I don't care.
Right.
And she was Muslim, so she's like, oh, like, obviously I have no problems with him. I just don't support that lifestyle. And I'm like, okay,
Red flag.
my thing, first of all, huge red flag. My thing was, I don't think he was asking you
Right.
to support it, and also I don't think a lot of people in the community are asking you to support anything. We're not asking you to participate. We didn't invite you to the weddings. We didn't say come to the funeral. We didn't say
Not
come
the funeral. Like, what the?
We didn't say come to the anniversary parties. Like, that's like me coming out right now and telling my son I love grape soda.
Right.
I like orange soda. Like, I'm not asking you to drink it.
Right.
I'm not asking you to hold it for me. I'm not asking you to purchase it for me. I'm just telling you I like grape soda.
Right.
No one asked you for your opinion on that situation. Right. But the fact that you found it necessary or needed to just throw that little jab in and be like, oh, well, I'm like, I mean, I can say something about, Muslim people. I'm not going to. That's my own personal thoughts on something. I think there are some things that, to me, don't curl all the way over.
Curl over.
Curl over.
Curl over.
I think there's some things. I'm not going to get into that here because it's not appropriate. But there's some things for me, just in general, where it's like, I don't like this. But at the same time, it's like you don't like what I do. You don't like what he do. You don't like what she do. So it's whatever. But you know, there are some things where it's like, I mean, you're not the second coming. So like, whatever you're, you know, just because like I don't know. A lot of times, I think a lot of times, some Muslim people have this like hierarchy. Damn it, I can't say hierarchy kind of like feeling. It's like we're all the same here. Like,
right?
We just pray to different people. That's fine, but don't act like you're better than me. I'm not better than you in any sense. And sometimes, so I mean, don't start with me. Damn it! Don't do this with me right now. Leave me alone. Anyway, back to that's a red flag. Now you know what? Yes, you know what? Now with drag me.
But no, okay, I see what you're saying, but you know, you just want to be careful with.
I'm being careful.
Yeah, overgeneralizations and whatnot. But yeah, and also, first of all, to rewind back to something you said about lifestyle, I always think that that's a red flag because I think that's why people think that it's okay. It's okay to have an opinion because you know. I first of all, I talked about this whole opinion thing that I feel like we have allowed for so long people to have certain things that are considered opinions when really it's just veiled homophobia, discrimination, certain things. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's not an opinion. Like me not.
It's not an opinion. It's not a preference. It's like you're just being kind of.
I don't like pineapples on my pizza. That's an opinion or a preference. But me saying.
I don't like white people.
Yeah, like
that's
not.
I
don't know. It's just. I mean, you can. It's a free word. You can say that, but then I think people, just as the same, have a right to say, okay, I don't want to deal with you because I feel like that's discriminatory or something. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but the point I was making is that like the whole thing of calling people who are gay or something to say like, I don't have nothing against. I just don't support that lifestyle, and I have a real issue with people calling it a lifestyle because it's just like, for the most part, it's not something really. To me, if someone's a fitness person and loves to work out every day, and
I don't like that lifestyle.
I think that's a lifestyle. Or if someone, I don't know, likes gaming all this time or something, that's a lifestyle. But something that people have about them that's just a part of who they are that they don't control, I don't think that that's a lifestyle. Like, once again, I always bring it back to things that people can understand probably a little better. If I'm white and I'm like, y'all can't call me racist, I just don't agree with blacks being black. I don't agree with their lifestyle. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just don't agree with people being black. They shouldn't be black. Like, what?
Because it's crazy because I think a lot of that is also like based into like this stereotype that you have. Like, I mean, that's like people who like are very like discriminatory against like Muslims.
Right.
It's like, again, some of them, like, you know, ones that are like, you know, practice being fully covered up and everything.
Right.
They're not doing anything to you. Right. So I don't understand, like, you know, why I wouldn't say like, oh, I don't agree with the Muslim lifestyle because it's like they're not doing nothing to me.
Right. But
like they just walking around covered up. Okay, you can do that.
Right. But even in that sense, even though I don't agree with it, I think everyone should be loved and accepted. I think it will make more sense to call a religion a lifestyle and be like, you know, I don't necessarily practice that lifestyle versus, because while most of us are born into certain religions, it's not really something that's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I mean, are you ever doing? I don't think you're doing anything too like. And I mean, okay, sometimes like I know some Muslims do the prayer thing anywhere,
right?
But most times, like if you like, that's like I mean, saying like, oh, a Christian, like, because what are they doing? They go to church. Right. They go to church on Sunday, and you're not there. They didn't invite you to church on Sunday. You're not going to church with them on Sunday. You might just see them walking to church. Right. They're not doing nothing to you. Right. Just like when it comes to gays, and it's like, oh, they're like, I'm like, what are they doing except for being married, having children? Ma'am, you're married and have children. Right. So should they say the same thing about your lifestyle? It's like,
but that's the thing. Like you said, like I just don't think certain things are lifestyle. Like I think when you say something is a lifestyle, it implies a choice. Mm-hmm. To be certain way. Just like I said, like I don't think you could call someone being black, you having black skin, I don't agree with your life, because we were
It's not a
born
lifestyle.
black. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I think maybe if someone were Siri, what are you
Oh my
talking
god,
about?
Siri wants to be involved in this conversation.
So that's all I meant was like for religion. Like I can see that. Not saying that people have a justification to say they disagree or agree with it, but I can see the argument that a religion is more of a lifestyle because it's something that you continuously choose to practice versus like someone's race or their
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I mean. Right.
Got it.
That's why I said I don't feel like I don't know. Cause I don't know. Yeah, the whole opinion thing is like, well, that's just my opinion, but it's just like, how can you have an opinion? I don't know. You know, it just
it doesn't make sense to me, and it's just like
it wouldn't make sense. I'm like, apply it to anything else that people can't control about themselves, and it doesn't make sense. Like, literally, let's go through a few examples. If someone's bipolar, I had nothing against them. I just don't agree with the bipolar lifestyle. It's like that doesn't make sense.
It's just not a lifestyle,
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like I don't know.
It doesn't curl all the way over for me.
Right.
I don't think it. I mean, a lot of times it's like who asked because no one did. You know.
Exactly, but yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, that was just. I think everybody has to be careful about their own biases and what actually like what you think that your beliefs are, your opinions. Finding the source of them, and you'll actually probably realize, okay, maybe that source is homophobia. Just like the girl with her kids, I'm like, you were homophobic because if you weren't homophobic, why would you care that your kid is watching something with gay
or
people
reading
in it, or reading something about gay people? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you should be happy they're reading,
right,
and move on,
right?
Like it's like, and my thing is like, it's like, what do y'all think? So it's not like Superman's gonna be in there pounding some random twink.
Yeah,
he's still saving the world. He just also has now a man for it. He has a boyfriend or whatever. Like,
right,
ma'am, nobody's doing it. Like, it's not like they said they're coming out with a hardcore X-rated Superman trilogy novel,
right?
That's 50 Shades of Red.
And that's exactly how. And the thing is, that's how you can tell it's homophobic. And that's why I want people to analyze themselves. It's homophobia because if it was truly about you being afraid that your child will be confused by something, but ma'am, you sat there and was watching Power with your child the other night.
Not Power.
You know what I'm saying? Ma'am, you were sitting there watching anything on network TV when this girl was just getting buzzed down by a whole, and you don't think that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So if it were really about you think something will confuse a child, then you wouldn't want anything that could be potentially like confused. Even two straight people having sex is confusing to a child who don't know that about. So
yeah,
like, what's happening to them right now? You know what I'm saying? So it's like
I mean, it's like the people like I think this is a. I think this is like a generational red flag when everybody was just going off about the whole Ernie and Bert thing.
Right.
That was a generational red flag because people were angry.
Right.
Or the Mr. Ratburn thing. People were upset. First of all, I didn't know if Arthur was still in the air.
It just went off.
Not to drag Arthur. I didn't know he was still in the air.
Right.
But they were like, oh my god, Mr. Ratburn's gay. And I was just like, first of all, I have not watched Arthur in 15, 17 years.
Right. Right.
Why y'all still even on there? How do y'all even know?
No, right.
Or like, oh, Bert and Ernie, oh my god, they're gay. Da, da, da. First of all, I never caught that when I was a child. All I thought they were roommates.
Right.
And as I got older, I'm like,
I never even peeped that they were roommates. I guess I never paid attention to the Bert and Ernie scenes. That
like I knew they were. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. But it's like again, no one like Bert and Ernie again. They never had a scene in Sesame Street where you walked in and Bert had Ernie bent over the couch. They would be in the house like eating cereal, and they'd be like, "Oh my god, look eating cereal! What are they doing? They're talking to Elmo. What are they doing?"
Right. And then also,
they weren't walking around with holding hands and being like, "Love wins."
Right. And one more comment before we get into our red flags, are just like, before you get into your rant.
Oh yeah.
One
rant is really a red flag, but it's just it'd be an addition,
right? But yeah, I think it's when parents often say that they think things are going to confuse the kid. I would say no. I think you're concerned that it's going to confuse you.
Yeah, I think you're confused.
This new generation coming up behind us is so much more liberal and have knowledge on other people because of the things they see. They understand. Like, I just saw this video with this boy. He was coming out as gay, and he sat down with his 4-year-old little brother. and was like telling him that he's gay. And he was like, "Do you understand that? What that means?" The little boy, he was worried to tell the little brother because he thought he would be confused. The little boy was like, "Some people like boys, some people like girls," and that was the end of it. He was like, "Why are y'all so slow?" Like,
or like, do you ever see that video of that girl? I know we have seconds. Right. You ever see that video of the girl? She was just like, "What are you doing? Why do you have a husband?" And she's like, "Oh, I like girls." And she was like, "Okay, why you don't got a wife?"
Right.
Like nobody was confused here. She was just like, "My thing was you single."
Right.
So what's good?
Right. Oh my gosh. But are you ready to get into your rant? So what is you have a rant this week? What is
yes.
Your rant?
Okay. So my rant is it's like a rant, but it's more of like this is another red flag for me in general.
Oh gosh.
Gotta take a breath for this.
I just feel like it's about to be something real crazy.
It's not. It's something that bothers the hell out of me. So, okay, I'm not like a stickler for pronunciations. I'm not. I don't particularly care. I mean, you say some things wrong. I say a lot of things wrong. Let's just rewind back to this episode. I said a lot of things that were wrong. Like in general, I can't say words sometimes.
Right.
But I don't know. It gives me a little racism. It gives me a little discrimination when non-people didn't even say anything yet. When non-people of color like correct you in a sense. Right. Do you want a cookie? I'm sorry. Like, you know, for our people, we always say ask wrong. Ask? Because we say X. And I say X all the time.
X? Like an X murderer?
No. See, now here you go, because you're doing this to be petty.
No,
when I'm saying like ask a question.
Ask a question.
I would say, I'm going to ask a question. Ask a question. Like, I don't say ask. I don't even say ask a question. Like X.
Yeah, like you pronouncing it like an X.
I pronounce it, and a lot of our people do that.
Ask me no more.
Like if I'm like in a professional setting, I would like go on to like fully enunciate every word I'm saying for everyone's comfort. But like a lot of times, if I'm just talking quickly, or just talking, it's not talking, it's talking.
First of all,
like it's like, do you want a cookie? Because for me, it gives me racism. It gives me racism because why? Like, first of all, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Are you the principal of living, ma'am or sir? Like, I hate it. I hate when I'm like, oh, I'm gonna ask him something. Like, or I'm gonna ask him something. You're gonna do what? I'm going to ask him something. But, like, you know what I'm saying. You know exactly what I mean, and you know what I'm saying. Right. Don't do this thing where you're going to try to pull it in.
Do you understand this? I'm going to punch someone. Like, do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm going to physically attack you. Do you feel better now? Because I'm pronouncing all my words? Ew.
But do they always say, have you ever saw the show Love It or Listed?
No.
Oh, my God. Well, I watch HGTV like an old man. But
yeah, I used to.
That's my show. This lady up there, the lady who always does the things, the way she says certain words, and I don't think maybe she has a bridge. I don't know what it is, but like garage.
You say garage?
She'd be like, we go to the garage. We need an extra garage. What is that?
Like, it gives me.
Garage?
Do you ever hear about Schitt's Creek?
No, I heard of it.
You need to. But it gives me Moira Rose because Moira Rose is like famous for saying the wrong word, and she talks in this accent, David. Like, she actually talks in this accent.
Right.
And, like, a lot of things she says be wrong.
Progress. I'm sorry, that just came to my mind. I hate it's progress. I hate progress.
Yeah, I don't like progress.
Even though they say that's the right way, but I disagree.
Like, I feel like there's no right way to say data or data. Like, it's the same thing. It's data or data. I don't care.
Right.
Caramel and caramel. Girl, you know what I'm talking about.
And
I don't
go
care.
back and forth. I say both of them.
I say caramel and caramel. Right. Like, I say both. Right. But I remember, like, it's irritating to me when it's like, what do you want, a cookie? Like, every time I say something, you're gonna be the first one to kind of jump in. Well, it's pronounced this way, and it's sometimes wrong. Like, just like people try to pronounce my name wrong, and I correct them, and they try to like tell me I'm wrong. You try to teach my name wrong.
Like, what are you?
I'm like, they're like, oh, is it Basil? I'm like, no, it's Basil. Oh, but the English pronunciation is, well, we're not in England,
right?
And my name is Basil. It's been Basil for 26 years, and it's gonna be Basil for the next 80 years. Okay, how you gonna tell me what my name is?
Oh my gosh!
Or oh my god, it was another one. Oh my god! So I used to hate it because somebody in my college would do this. So since I talk fast, I talk pretty fast.
Right.
I would say disrespectful, but I would say disrespectful. But I don't. It just does. It just kind of morphs into one word, and this
way it is one word.
It is one word, but like it morphs into like not like disrespectful. Like I don't put all
each syllable is
just disrespectul.
Right.
So like disrespectful. Like, it's just
right,
straight out.
Right.
I'm not going to this like long disrespectful. And this guy who was in my school would always, like, if I ever said disrespectful, I'm trying to, like, say it out loud now. Right. If I ever said it, he would, like, mock it in a bit, but always make it as a joke. And I'm like, you can stop now. Like, it's getting really irritating now because, like, every time I say
go to the
it,
garage. Go to the garage.
like, he would always say it, and it was this like ongoing thing. And I'm like, y'all don't say this to other white people,
right?
Or y'all don't say this to other non-people of color. Y'all don't do that. Right. So, and it's also again even when it comes to pronouncing things, and it comes out the fact that y'all can't say my name right, but you can say Rachel Jezikowski. You can say, oh, is this Winston Chetty? It's like, oh, so you can say that, but you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I get this wrong. Is it Tyreek? Yes, girl, it's Tyreek. But you can say this long last name.
Do you remember that sub we had, and he completely butchered Taja and Naisha?
Yes, Taha.
Is there a Taha?
Let's not say her whole name now.
Oh, Taha.
Yeah.
And Naisha.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and I had a professor always call me Tyrone. Like,
Tyrone.
There's no Y. Tyrone. Like, Tyrone. Like, what?
Like, I feel like after I tell you my name the first time, you should probably pick it up. Also, people normally say basil when it comes to the herbs and the seasoning.
Right.
So you don't go to the aisle and be like, oh, do you have any basil around?
Right.
You say basil. So if I say my name is Basil, just say basil. Right. Don't try to correct me and tell me what I'm saying is wrong, or try to give me the history of what my name is supposed to be, because my name is what it is right now.
Right.
Which also used to kill me because in college we had another Basil. He was white. No one got his name wrong. No one called him Basil. When they saw him in person, they would say Basil.
Because they automatically
I'm like, oh, but I'm something different.
Right, because they automatically expect that your name is going to be exotic in some way.
Like,
it's like,
but you can say Rachel Jezikowski and just fully come out with your mouth with that.
Michaela. Sorry, we got to
too many times, too many different ways they saw Michaela. Yeah, I'm like, this not even Michaela anymore. We got to
debate with that with someone's roommate at school.
Oh God!
Because first of all, I was like, it was something like MICKH. It was. I don't even remember how it was spelled.
Maybe put extra stuff in it, but I'm like, but the thing is, nobody gets that wrong,
right?
And no one gets it wrong. No one tries to attempt, but it's like, but you kind of come from me, and it's like, because of this, and it's like, I'm sorry, like, what? Are you the principal? Are you the speech therapist for everybody?
Right.
I'm like, no, what if I had a speech impediment that I was really sensitive about, and you just set me back?
That I never even thought about. That is very true. Like you just never know someone does have some type of thing with their speech, and
like they've been working on years to get it fixed, and here you go jumping in because you want to be new. Right. And actually, it's pronounced this way. First of all, says who? Honestly, when people do that, I'm like, did you
how you pronounce my bottom of my boot?
Like, but you know what I mean, though? Like, it's like, okay, you've been hearing this for years. Like, were you around when English was first started being spoken?
Right.
You know every pronunciation in the world?
Right.
Because every time I say something, I'm allegedly wrong, but y'all can just say whatever y'all want to say.
Right.
But, when I say something, it's pronounced this way. It's pronounced shut up. So, that's my rant. Mind your business and watch your mouth.
Right.
Okay?
That was a good one. I like that one. Well, everyone, I think that was a good show.
It was.
Make sure you comment all your red flags on our Instagram. What are your red flags?
Yes, follow us on Instagram at CodenameZ Podcast. On YouTube at CodenameZ Podcast. On every streaming service. Spotify. We're on Apple Music or Apple Podcast now. Do you know
really?
That?
It finally went through? Oh, good. That took a long time to go through for some reason.
I was reading about that. It takes a while.
Right.
But yeah, so we're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Anchor. Follow us, listen to us, give us a sponsor. All that fun stuff.
Comment down below. I want to try to incorporate maybe a little later on into our show, but like somehow being able to actually have people chime in, whether it's like through pre-recorded things and then we can play it during or have them call in or whatever. But
I do believe you can do that through the Anchor app. So whenever we get our sponsorship,
right, Anchor, and please come on down. But anyway, but we'll let y'all know when that's up and running because we would love to hear y'all feedback and what y'all think on some of these topics. But anyway, guys,
all right, I'll see y'all next week.
See ya. Bye.